So last week, when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that he was going to be running for president as an independent candidate, pretty much everybody said the same thing, and that is, of course, that, hey, Bobby's going to end up pulling more support from Republicans than from Democrats. Well, it's been a week and a half since Bobby Kennedy Jr. made that announcement, and wouldn't you know it, the latest poll to come out shows that, yep, Bobby is actually pulling more support from Donald Trump than he is from President Biden. In fact, according to this poll, for every one Biden supporter that Kennedy draws into his camp, he draws in 2 Trump supporters. That's pretty good 2-to-1 ratio of siphoning away Republicans compared to Democrats. So here's what the new numbers tell us. In a 3-way race between President Biden, Donald Trump, and Bobby Kennedy Jr., Biden gets 44%, Trump gets 37%, Bobby gets 16%, and 3% undecided, which, by the way, is actually a very small number of undecided voters, which kind of makes it clear that most voters have already made up their minds, even though we're a little more than a year away from that election. But Bobby polling at 16% is not bad for an independent candidate, but it is bad if your name is Donald Trump. Because when you take Bobby out of the race, Trump's numbers go up by 10 and Biden's go up by about 5. So given Biden's 7-point lead already, add 5 to that, you've got 12. Trump is now trailing by 12. Give him his 10 back from Bobby. Biden is still up by 2, but Trump is in a much more comfortable position within the margin of error of the poll. So here's the thing. A couple weeks ago, right, we had that Washington Post, ABC News poll that showed that Trump was up by 10%. Yeah, that poll was a complete and total farce. It was definitely an outlier, and the results of that poll have not been replicated in any other poll since then, so that is now one that we can officially toss into the garbage. Pay no attention to it. Heed some warnings from it, I will say. Heed some warnings from it. But don't think that that's where this presidential race lies right now. Biden has a comfortable lead, and as long as Bobby Kennedy Jr. stays in the race, Biden's lead's probably going to increase. Even as President Biden's approval rating hits virtually an all-time low for him at 37%, he's still polling way ahead of everybody else. So I guess what I'm trying to say is thanks, Bobby, for jumping into the race and siphoning off these Republican votes. Although it's really not your fault, right, that you're siphoning off the Republican votes. After all, Republican Party spent months hyping you up, talking about how great your stance is on vaccines, how much they hate Dr. Fauci just like you don't like Dr. Fauci. They had you on Fox News all the time. You went on Hannity's program several times. But of course, now that you're siphoning votes away from Trump, Hannity's talking points have shifted. He's now trying to paint you as like a radical left, Bernie Sanders type Democrat, but the damage is done. The Republicans, Sean Hannity probably right at the top of the list, Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, all those other folks too, they created a Frankenstein's monster with Bobby Kennedy's candidacy. And now the monster is basically ransacking their own party, and they have no idea how to stop it, and none of them are willing to admit that they actually created this. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.